Live at 5:30.
We're starting tonight with a developing story and alert from Fargo police. They need your help finding two runaway teens. They say Michaela Anna Rose Hool is 16 years old. She's 5'2", about 130 pounds, with brownish red hair and brown eyes. 13-year-old Joanna Rose Franken is also considered a runaway. They believe the two girls are together. Franken is 5'3" and about 200 pounds. She has brown hair and brown eyes. Now, authorities say they've gotten a tip that the girls may be in a tan-colored car with Montana plates. Please don't believe either girl is in danger, but if you have any information on where these two girls may be, you're encouraged to call dispatch at 701-451-7660. We've also got more information about how to reach police with an anonymous tip posted with this story at valleynewslive.com. New for you at 5:30, a former Moorhead man has now been sentenced for a felony count of animal torture after admitting to killing 3 cats in his apartment. 24-year-old Jalen Greer was sentenced today in Clay County Court. Greer will serve 60 days in jail, but was authorized to be released for work and school. In addition to those 60 days, he will have 2 years of probation. And during that time, he is not to have contact with animals and must complete chemical and psychological evaluations. Greer was arrested in March after police say they found a dead cat on his kitchen floor, and he admitted to killing 2 others. Well, the fallout continues today with another accusation of sexual misconduct against Minnesota Senator Al Franken. A second woman is now coming forward accusing the former comedian of inappropriate touching. Lindsay Menz tells CNN that Franken put his hand on her bottom when they posed for a photo at the Minnesota State Fair back in 2010. The now 33-year-old Menz says the interaction made her feel gross. Franken tells CNN he doesn't remember taking the photo, but he feels badly that she was disrespected. Los Angeles broadcaster Leanne Tweeden accused Franken last week of forcibly kissing her and groping her while she was asleep. Franken's office has not responded to those new allegations. Fargo City commissioners are asking whether it's time for the city to move away from those special assessments. Commissioners met today to discuss the assessments and shared that they have been getting an earful about how expensive they are. Now, this is a story we've been following for months about how the city uses those special taxes placed on homeowners for infrastructure, sometimes costing thousands of dollars. So tonight on Valley News Live at 6, we'll hear what Fargo City leaders are planning to do next. Well, we cannot beat those incredible temperatures today. It warmed up nicely in some parts of the valley, but we can't get too used to it because it's going to get brutal real fast. Robert, what's going on for tonight?
Yeah, some big changes as we head through the overnight hours, and we're still seeing some temperatures in the 50s even at this hour. 50 degrees right now here in Fargo, also 50 in Gwinner, but off towards the northwest, already cooling down into the 30s, 32 in Langdon, 35 in Devil's Lake. And that is with some strong and gusty northwesterly winds, already gusting close to 40 miles per hour out of the west here in Fargo, and right at 40 miles per hour out of the west and northwest in Jamestown and in Devil's Lake. That is causing some wind chills in the teens, 17 in Langdon, 22 in Devil's Lake, 33 in Jamestown. By tomorrow morning, we'll see wind chills in the single digits above and below zero. Cloud cover, not a whole lot to speak of, and underneath those clouds, did have a few snow showers up in far northern Minnesota earlier today, but those have since gone by the wayside. Here in the Fargo area, as we head through this evening, temperatures will quickly continue to drop on off. Some westerly breezes shifting to the northwest overnight tonight, dipping down into the mid-30s by the 8 o'clock hour and down into the right around 34 at 9 o'clock. Again, some very cold wind chills as we start off the day, improving windy conditions later on in the day, but not going to feel very warm at all. We've got to have a look at that, as well as look at your travel forecast on Wednesday coming up in just a few minutes.
Sounds good. Thanks, Robert. Well, it's never too early to start shopping for the holidays, but a study shows many are still paying off credit cards from last season. Valley News Team's Rose Itzkovitz asked what the younger generation can learn from the older about those spending habits.
Meet Travis Hansen. Born in '89, he's a millennial who regularly uses credit cards and pays them off right away. But according to a 2017 NerdWallet study, that's not the norm for people in his age group. The study shows that even though more baby boomers incurred debt over the holidays last year, 92% are now all paid off. On the other hand, nearly a quarter of millennials still have that debt today as they shop for this year's gifts.
My dad is very, very good with money. I'm not nearly as good with money as he even is, but that's where we learned a lot of, I guess, the skills that we use to manage our money.
And maybe that's the key. So I asked some baby boomers, why did they have less credit card debt from last year's holiday shopping season?
We were raised to save for a rainy day. We work very hard. Not that the young generation don't work hard, but we want better for them than what we have, so we've given them a lot more.
A lot of the young people I know live in the theory of, but we might as well have it now. What do we want with it 30, 40 years from now? We want it now, so we buy it now.
One financial advisor here in Fargo says that want for instant gratification has a term.
It's present bias. When you got a short-term reward, let's say a purchase, to instantly gratify what you want, and it's going to have a long-term effect on you because of the fact that you may not have the money to pay for it right now.
But DeVries says it has less to do with a sense of entitlement and more to do with life experience. All the more reason for millennials to learn from their elders. Rose Iskowitz, Valley News Live.
And while the study focuses on credit card debt from holiday shopping, a separate NerdWallet survey shows that millennials who are parents may be better at saving money for retirement than older generations. It was a last problem for the Keystone XL pipeline route, and now it's been cleared by the Nebraska Public Service Commission. The commission voted 3-2 to allow the $8 billion pipeline project across the state. However, the commission rejected TransCanada's preferred route and instead chose an alternative route that moves the pipeline farther east. It would carry oil from Canada through Montana, South Dakota, and Nebraska, where it would connect with the existing Keystone pipeline, then continue on through Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas to the coast. But now landowners who are in the way of the new pipeline need to be contacted for the project to move forward. This comes just 4 days after a leak on Keystone's existing pipeline near the North Dakota-South Dakota border, spilling 210,000 gallons of oil. And just yesterday, Canada sent more crews and equipment to the site. The company has not released a cause for the spill yet. The U.S. is now designating North Korea as a state sponsor of terrorism. The move from President Trump comes amid heightened nuclear tensions on the Korean peninsula. During a cabinet meeting today, Trump called the step long overdue and said the new designation will impose additional sanctions on North Korea. Now, that was moved from the list by President George W. Bush in 2008. Trump said that North Korea has repeatedly sponsored acts of terrorism, including assassinations on foreign soil. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson said the decision sent a message to the North Korean regime about the United States' resolve. Sex injuries are on the rise, 80% in the last 5 years, and that's according to a new study. Slips and falls, rug burns, and muscle strains are just a few common injuries, but there are other, more serious issues. Those working at a local intimate boutique say not talking about sex and unreal expectations can only make the problem worse.
That's not normal. People can't do that. They don't get in that position, or they can't perform at that level for that duration.
Tonight on Valley News Live at 9 on Fargo CW and Valley News Live 10, we'll hear how the issue is impacting our community and why you shouldn't be afraid to talk about it. They're lucky birds.